Hi everyone, I'm going to go through taking hardwood rose cuttings today. This plant is called Natalia. It has a lovely copper orange flower to it, a lovely scent as well. And the material that we're looking to take cuttings from at this time of year is material from the previous year's growth, which has fully hardened off now. This material doesn't bend or flex very much at all. It would probably snap if you did try to bend it too much. So that's the type of growth that we're looking for, and we'll go through doing that now. I tend to take hardwood cuttings and put them into pots. I use a multi-purpose peat-free compost mixed with about 25% of perlite just to try and keep the soil structure open. This does seem to work quite well for me. The perlite tends to keep the soil structure nice and open, allowing a bit of oxygen and air around, which does seem to help with the formation of roots, new roots at the base of the cuttings. What we're looking for is if any buds have broken, that material won't be suitable. If it started to grow leaves, then roots won't form. So we're looking for the buds nice and tight to the plant and dormant really. So we're cutting to try and get probably roughly 3 or 4 buds per cutting. And I cut just below a bud that hasn't broken. You can see there the bud is still tight to the plant, hasn't broken at all. This is where the plant will produce the hormones for growing the roots. So we cut sort of within probably 5 to 10 mil of the bud across the bottom. I cut straight across the bottom. You can see there's a second bud and a third bud, and then we go right to the top. We've got a fourth bud there, and we cut across the top at an angle so we know that that is the top. Now, hardwood cuttings usually take quite well without any rooting hormone, but I do use the Clonex rooting gel just to give that extra bit of chance to the rose, to the cuttings to grow. You don't have to use this because hardwood cuttings usually root on their own perfectly fine, but I do use it just as an extra bit of a boost, really. So we put it into the Clonex there, and then we just push the cutting into the pot. Usually we try and get at least 2 buds below soil level. It's usually around the area of the buds where new roots will form. So I'll show you again on this cutting. We'll cut just below a bud there. And you're looking for about a pencil thickness to the stems for this. You don't want to use anything less than that. They generally won't root very well. Also, anything too thick is probably going to be too old for this process. So you're wanting to look for the bud. Again, there we go. There's another one. So we cut under that, under the bud, and that's where the new roots will form. These types of cuttings can take sort of between 3 to 6 months to start forming new roots sometimes. So it's a much slower method than softwood cuttings, but probably a lot more successful. I generally get at least 50% of cuttings taking in this way and growing new roots and going on to form new plants. You can see there where I've cut at an angle across the top just so that I know which is the correct way up and which end to put into the soil. That would be the flat end, and then the angled end sticking out the top of the soil there. I generally try to get 3 or 4 into a pot. Don't forget to label them so you remember what they are, because like I say, they can take months to root sometimes, and you'll have forgotten by then what variety you've planted. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe if you have, and leave any questions in the comments below and I'll try and help.